Peace YouTube, Peace X. As you guys come in, let us know where you're from. As you may know, Wednesdays, noon Eastern, we discuss ownership, power, and wealth in America here on Winning Wednesdays. Peace to everyone coming in. Peace to MB, Queens. Shout out Queens. New York City is a great world city. Peace, Jen. Cali in the building, per usual. How's it going? It's going great. How's it going with you on Cali? Peace and blessings to El Haj. What's up, El Haj? Welcome, everyone. I've got a few things on my notes I want to discuss today, but we'll give it a minute before we begin. So here on Winning Wednesdays, we discuss, as I mentioned, ownership, power, and wealth in America. American capitalism does not respect crying. American capitalism does not respect complaining. American capitalism does not respect moaning and groaning. American capitalism only respects ownership. Do we have ownership? Do we own our time? Do we own our outcomes? Or do we defer our outcomes to everyone else? Do we take self-accountability? Do we take self-responsibility? Or do we cry and complain? Do we moan and groan? Do we defer our outcomes to HR? Do we defer our outcomes to Mr. Charlie? Do we defer our outcomes to everyone else? Or do we take full control of our outcomes, our damn selves? So that's what we discuss here on Winning Wednesdays: ownership, power, and wealth in America. Everything else is a distraction. So welcome to everyone. This is not Whining Wednesdays. This is a Winning Wednesdays. No whining. No whining. We'll leave the whining to the children. We are executives and we conduct ourselves as such. Winning Wednesdays, not whining Wednesdays. All right, welcome everyone. All right, before we begin, we'll take a look at the market. We'll just give it 2 more minutes. How's your net worth doing? Is your net worth increasing? Is your net worth staying flat? Is your net worth decreasing? Is your mindset increasing? Is your mindset staying flat? Or is your mindset decreasing? Is your skill set increasing? Is your skill set staying flat? Or is your skill set decreasing? Let me make sure. Are we good on the tech? Are we good on the tech? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Just confirm with that. Just confirm that in the chat for me before I begin. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We good? We good on the tech? Good on the audio? We good on the visual? Oh, good. Okay, thank you, Andrea. Good. All right, thank you. I'm always a little hesitant to get too far into the meeting and not check the tech. All right, so there's three articles I want to discuss today. There's one I saw this morning that I wanted to discuss, and then 2 I mentioned in the description of today's meeting. So we'll give it a minute before we jump into that. But before we do that, let's take a look at the current market. Let's see what's going on in the market. Actually, that's the wrong one. Let me share my screen here. Let's see what the market is looking like. Share screen. All right, here we go. All right, here's a current look at some of the tickers I follow. This is a view from TradingView. This morning I noticed the market was green, but looks like it's pulled back just slightly since then. S&P down slightly, NASDAQ down slightly, Apple up to 201, Amazon up to, or actually Apple up to 201, Amazon down to 205, BTC at 1073, Ethereum at 2600, Google 172, Microsoft 458, Meta 645. Meta's up to 645. Let's take a quick look at Meta's chart. Let me see if I can pull this up. Meta's an interesting one. Meta. Let's see the 5 days, 1 month. Oh, so there's a 1 month chart on Meta. So what day was that? On the 12th, it looks like. What day is this here? The 9th. Earlier this month, it was at $5.94, and it jumped up about $30 up to $6.20. So that's an interesting ticker to keep track of. Meta. MicroStrategy down to 359. Netflix up to 1200. NVIDIA, we'll talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA up to almost 136. A couple other tickers I follow: Tesla 361, Palantir 124. That's a live look at the market right there. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of their earnings today. Meta will be one of them. All right, so that's a live look at the market. We'll circle back to that later. Let's get into some of these news articles I wanted to discuss. All right, let me share my screen here. I wanted to discuss this article I saw this morning. You may have heard about this company. You actually may use their product. I use their product, one of their products. I wanted to talk about this company right here. Let's see here. Share screen. This company is OpenAI. Now you might have heard of ChatGPT. You might even use ChatGPT on a daily basis or a regular basis. I saw this article on Yahoo Finance this morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. OpenAI CFO says new structure opens door to potential future IPO. So you may know OpenAI is a private company. I believe they're one of the most valuable private companies in the world. Let's go to, actually right before we went live today, I asked AI the most valuable private companies. So here's a list of the companies. Let me share my screen here before we get into this article. Actually, I'm going to do it live. How about I do it live? I'll do it live. I'm going to do it live. Let me share my screen here, and let's do it live together. Let me stop sharing that. I'm going to ask AI what the most valuable companies, private companies in the world are. Let's see what it says. Share screen, X. Let's talk about it. All right, let's see if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, good. All right, so let's ask AI. What are the most valuable private companies in the world? OpenAI should be on this list, if not the top of the list. Let's see what it says here. Most valuable private 20. Okay, SpaceX 350 billion. ByteDance. Okay, OpenAI is third most valuable private company in the world. Stripe, Canva, XAI, and some other ones. Okay, so this company is looking to go public in the near future. So it's currently third on this list as the most valuable private company. All right, so let's go back to the article. Stop sharing that one, and let's share this one. All right, so now we know a little bit about OpenAI's background. We know it's a very valuable private company. Let's see what this article says about OpenAI. All right, OpenAI CFO says new structure opens door to potential future IPO. Initial public offering just means they're going public. All right, let's see what it says. OpenAI's restructuring plans open the door to a potential future IPO, but any such decision would depend on the mood in public markets as well as the readiness of the company. CFO Sarah Fryer said on Wednesday. That's this morning. Earlier today, this is what their CFO said. OpenAI, which Microsoft has invested in more than $13 billion, outlined plans in December to convert its for-profit arm into a public benefit corporation, a structure designed to balance shareholder returns with social goals, unlike nonprofits, which are solely focused on public good. All right, so who knew in America? Who knew? Let me get convert its for-profit arm into a public benefit corporation structure designed to balance the shareholder returns with social goals, unlike Who knew? Who knew money drove America? That's breaking news. Breaking news here on Winning Wednesdays. Money drives America. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about they don't care about ethics, not so much. They don't care about legality so much. They care about profits. Breaking news here on Winning Wednesdays. They don't care. It's all good because you care. Let's see what else it says. The ChatGPT maker dialed back the plan earlier this month so that the nonprofit parent would continue to collect the PBC and become a big shareholder in it, while still allowing its for-profit arm to raise more capital to keep pace in the AI race. All right, so we've heard Doc talk about race in the literal and figurative sense. Business is a race. Actually, let me rephrase that. Business is a competition. Economics is a competition. Racism is a competition. And according to this article, AI is also a competition, right? These are all races. Races to assets, right? Competition, business, definite competition. Economics, AI is also a competition. All right, let's see what else it says here. Let me make sure I have the right screen here. Okay. All right, we talked about that paragraph. PBC gets us to an IPO able event if and when we want to. This lady said. Nobody tweet in this room that Sarah just said anything about OpenAI ultimately going public. I did not. I said it could happen. Me personally, I believe it will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. OpenAI is too valuable a private company not to go public. Too much money on the line. Too much money on the line. The minute they go public, Sam Altman and all his executive friends get even wealthier than they already are. Why wouldn't they go public? Let's see what else it says here. You can show up to the altar all ready to go. And if the market's not ready for you, yeah, you're just out of luck. They'll be ready. They know exactly what they're doing. When you're at that level, there's nothing left to chance. You move with strategy, 100%. When you're at that level, when you're an executive at that level, you move with strategy. You just don't blow in the wind and hope things work out. You move with strategy. You think ahead. You have foresight, not hindsight. Which is why you have to build a company that can be sustainable and safe regardless of where the public markets are, how open that window is. To be a public company, you definitely need some sense of predictability. There you go. There's a business lesson for us right off the bat. 13 minutes into the hour. There's our first business lesson of today. We're going to move with predictability. We're going to move with foresight. We're going to see ahead. We are playing chess. We are not playing checkers. Real chess players can see 3, 5, 10, 15, 150 steps ahead. Okay, so we're going to implement that into our lives and our businesses. We're going to use foresight. We're going to think about possible outcomes before we pull the trigger, not after. Business lesson 1. Move with predictability, move with foresight, move with strategy. The market will put up with a certain degree of unpredictability, particularly when growth is high, but the market does not really love it. All right, so this is, let's see what else. Is there anything else on here? Let's see. Okay, so this is the first article I want to discuss today. Very valuable private company, OpenAI. I'm sure you're familiar with ChatGPT. I use it. I also use some other AI models. So just keep an eye on OpenAI going public in the future, in the near future, I'd predict. Okay, so good idea to keep an eye on some of these valuable private companies going public, what they plan to do, their timeline, and any future plans that they do have. All right, so if you want to read that article, again, it's on Yahoo Finance. And this article is from Reuters, actually, and this is from this morning, Wednesday, May 28th, 9:52 a.m. Eastern. So what do you think about OpenAI going public? I suspect they're gonna buy out Microsoft at some point. I believe Microsoft owns, what is it, 49%, 50, 49? About half of OpenAI is owned by Microsoft. I suspect they're gonna cut Microsoft a fat check, buy them out, and then go public, and then become their own company, separate from Microsoft. So I suspect that's what's going to happen in the near future. What do you guys think about OpenAI? Actually, yeah, it doesn't say the percentage owned by Microsoft here, but I believe it's about 49 or 50%. What do you guys think about OpenAI going public? ICO predictability. What will and Jen asks, what will you invest in will you invest in OpenAI? There won't be a ticker until they go public. They're private for the time being, so there's no ticker. When they offer their IPO and they go public, there will be a ticker. I don't know what that ticker will be at this point. I'm not sure if they know what that ticker will be just yet. Will I invest in OpenAI? If I do, it won't be early on. It won't be right after the IPO. I may invest in the company later on. From my understanding of IPOs, I've followed some of the big IPOs over the years. They tend to start off pretty high and then pull back. Check Meta's IPO. Check who else has gone public in recent years. Meta was one of the more famous ones 10, 15 years ago. I think did Robinhood go public a couple years back? But I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. For me, I won't invest in the company right after its IPO. I may wait till later on until I see a price that I like, an entry price that I like. Then I may jump in. All right. So if you want to check out that article, again, it's on Yahoo Finance. What do you guys think about that? Any feelings on OpenAI going public? Do you guys use ChatGPT? Do you guys use some other AI model? Do you guys use the premium version of OpenAI? I know some of you use the paid version of OpenAI of ChatGPT. Let's see what Andrea says. Andrea says IPOs have a freeze period, so whales and creators, pre-IPO investors don't sell. Wait some time. Yep, that's a good argument. Just here, actually, let's do this together. What I'm going to do is go to Grok AI and ask AI. Let's ask AI what. Okay, you can see my Grok. Let's ask AI what companies have gone public this decade. Let's see what it says. Let's see here. Notable companies that went public in the 2020s. Let's see what it says here. Airbnb, okay, back in 2020. All right, so let's look at some of the IPO prices initially versus current day prices. Airbnb, first off, travel platform, okay. Closing out, okay, so its stock doubled on the first day, closing out 144. What's somebody look up current price of Airbnb? What is it currently? Airbnb. Snowflake, 2020, September 2020, cloud data platform raising stock jumped 104%, closing at 253. So I'm gonna look up what Airbnb's current price is relative to 144. Somebody look up Snowflake's current price relative to 253. What else is here? Look, okay, here's one a very popular ticker. Palantir went public September 2020. Reaching about $29 on December 23rd. I think it's about $100 above that currently, roughly $100 above that. I think Palantir was what, 123, 124 a few minutes ago. What else do we have here? Any other companies, big companies? CrowdStrike. Does it give the IPO price? No. McAfee closed at $18, $19. Well, some of these tickers have done the opposite of what I just said. So it's really up to you if you want to invest in OpenAI when they do go public. But here's some of the companies that went public so far this decade. Let's see here. Natasha says, ChatGPT was pissing me off this morning, so I went to yep, Copilot. Copilot is Microsoft's AI, if I'm right. ChatGPT was pissing me off this morning, so I went to Copilot. I love Copilot. Andrea says, I love Copilot. They now have quick or deep thinking mode. Okay. Is that on the free version or is that on the paid subscription version? Andrea says, I've been paying for my GPTs for 2 or 3 years now, but 3.5, 4, and 4 are free now. Okay. I'm sure as these models advance, the older versions become free. The more newer versions are behind a paywall. free 99. Free 99 is always a good price, right? All right, so those are some of the companies that went public recently. It's really up to you if you want to invest in these companies at their IPO price. All right, let me stop sharing that. All right, so that was the first article I wanted to discuss, OpenAI potentially going public in the near future. There's a couple bigger, well, there's one bigger story in particular I want to discuss. I'm sure you guys know by now, have heard, or you guys keep up with this kind of news yourself. And that is NVIDIA's earnings today. NVIDIA, I believe, is the second largest company as we speak in the world behind Microsoft. Let's go to Yahoo Finance and see what's up with NVIDIA. All right, so later today about 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern or 4:30 p.m. Eastern, NVIDIA will report its Q1 earnings. Let's see what it says here. NVIDIA, Q1 earnings. After the bell, 3 things to watch. Let's see what they say. NVIDIA is set to report first quarter earnings today after the bell, and Wall Street is watching closely. Yep. Yahoo Finance tech editor, this guy joins the morning brief to break down the numbers to watch, including data, center growth, China headwinds, and the guidance around the Blackwell chip. All right, I believe NVIDIA just announced recently that they're going to sell China a variant of the Blackwell chip. I guess the United States doesn't want its top competitor to own its most advanced chips. Okay, so let's see what this article says. So if you're interested in watching their reporting, their earnings live, you can click on this button right here. I believe you can also follow their earnings on Robinhood. If you search NVDA on Robinhood search, just scroll down. I believe you can listen into their earnings call later today. Let's see what else this says here. Okay, let's see what this guy says right here. I believe this H20 is one of their top chips here. Okay, so NVIDIA's first quarter earnings are due out after the bell today. Yahoo Finance. Okay, what are the things that are kind to pillars till we need to hear from NVIDIA? Let's see, China situation. What else? Earnings per share, revenue. And this is 1 quarter's worth of revenue, right? Approximately 43 billion. That's their earnings in 1 quarter. Let's see what else. Year-over-year increase. Any news regarding this H20 chip? Oh yeah, here we go. But really, we want to focus on is China, and it's because of the bans that the Trump administration put on place for NVIDIA's H20 chip. Now, the chip was originally created for the Chinese market specifically because they weren't allowed to sell more powerful chips than that. Okay, so let's think of it. Can we take a lesson from that? I'm trying to think if we can learn a lesson from that. If you're a business owner and you're worried about your competitors overtaking you, maybe you put in place certain restrictions on your product or service. Maybe you consider doing that. This is the second largest company in the world. They do that. So maybe we can consider doing that ourselves if we feel that will help keep our competitive advantage. What else do they have here? Expectations. Okay, so you can read the rest of this online. We'll be on the lookout for whether or not Jensen says anything about the newer chip. There's been reports from routers that they're working on a successor to this. I mean, I kind of thought they would work on. I mean, they wouldn't just they wouldn't just sit on this chip, right? I assume they're working on new chips. Even if on the next chip, I'm assuming they're working on just like the iPhone, right? Apple's not sitting satisfied on the what's the latest one, 16, the iPhone 16. I'm sure they're working on 17, 18, 19, 20. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? So same thing with NVIDIA. I'm sure they're working on these more advanced chips than this one. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Okay, so what else here? So that's actually another lesson for us right there. For us serious business owners, we always want to innovate. We never want to get complacent. We never want to get too comfortable. We want to always have some degree of paranoia. We always want to assume our competitors are working 30 hours a day when we're only working 24 hours a day. We always want to have some baseline level of paranoia. What is my competitor going to do? What are they working on? What are my weaknesses? What are my threats to my business? How can they overtake me? How can they steal mind share? How can they steal my market share? So we always want to be innovating. We don't want to get too comfortable. We saw what happened to some companies that got too comfortable over the years. What happens to a company that becomes too comfortable, too complacent? They become a dinosaur. They become obsolete. Let's see what else it says. Increased demand. Yeah, I think he has to show up that Blackwell is selling very well, that they're getting out to customers, that they continue to see increased demand. I think playing up to the obvious deals that they have announced in the Middle East and with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. You saw Jensen right beside Trump there in Saudi Arabia a few weeks back. Actually, there's a picture right here. Right here, you can see NVIDIA's CEO right here beside Trump. That was not by coincidence. That was not by accident. They didn't just show up in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and stand side by side by coincidence. At that level, there's nothing occurs by coincidence. So keep an eye out on NVIDIA's earning later today. That will, I believe, that will move the market. I believe that will move not only their ticker's price, but I believe it'll move the Nasdaq for sure, and maybe even the S&P. What do you guys think about NVIDIA's earning? What do you expect from NVIDIA's earning later today? Yeah, Andrea. Yeah, you're right. Intel and Blockbuster became complacent. They got too comfortable. They got too cute, and their ass got left in the dust. Their competitors ate their food. Their competitors came and stole their customers, and they became obsolete. They became dinosaurs. We know dinosaurs became extinct. Intel and Blockbuster. Well, Blockbuster for sure is on the. Well, they became extinct years ago. I'm not sure anyone still uses Blockbuster, even if they're still around. Intel's on that obsolete trajectory, if they're not already obsolete. Intel's not even in the top 3 or 4 in their field, in their sector. Maybe not even the top 5 or 6 or 7. So this is a lesson to us so that we can implement into our lives and our businesses. Do not become complacent. Even if you are the market leader, we're not going to become complacent. We're not going to become too comfortable. If NVIDIA is the market leader in this sector and they're not complacent, why would we be complacent? If they can think 5, 10, 50 steps ahead, why aren't we thinking 5, 10, 50, 150, 1,000 steps ahead? Are we playing chess or are we playing checkers? Are we playing advanced chess or are we playing beginner's checkers? All right, so we're playing advanced chess. So we're going to conduct ourselves as such. We're going to make moves like real chess players, not like checkers players. All right, so this is an article from Yahoo Finance. You guys can read up on it on your own. Probably the most important company in the market right now, besides Microsoft. They report later today. So keep an eye on the market after hours. What do you think about NVIDIA? What do you think? Let me check NVIDIA's current price. What do you think will happen? NVIDIA's currently at 135. What do you think it'll be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern? What do you think it'll be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern? What do you think it'll be at 12 midnight? What do you think it'll open at tomorrow? What do you think it'll close at today? What do you think it'll open at tomorrow? 135 currently, almost 136 currently. You guys own an NVIDIA shares? Almost 136, just under 136 right now. I believe it'll close about 134, 135. I believe it'll jump. My opinion as to what will happen to NVIDIA after hours is that it'll increase. Actually, it just hit 136. It's up 50 cents, up to 136 currently. I believe it'll increase. Even with the tariffs from the first quarter earlier this year, I believe that their demand for their product is so high that I don't think that really affect them. And even if it does, even if their ticker price did pull back after hours, this is just my opinion. I believe it'll just skyrocket later on. We saw it pull back to the 80s and 90s earlier this year. Actually, not even earlier this year, yeah, but we saw what happened to NVIDIA's ticker, its stock price back in early April. Let's see if I can get the chart up. Yeah, let me share this chart right quick. Let's see here. Remove that one. Share the wrong one. I'm trying to share the NVIDIA chart. Or here it is. Let's just look at I think this is the 3-month chart here. There's a 3-month chart on NVIDIA. We can see as recent as, let's see here, what price is it? End of March, it's at 103. I thought it was, yeah, okay, my bad. I didn't scroll all the way down. Okay, so what day is this right here? Friday, the 4th of April, early April. First week in April, it's at 87. Third week in April, it's at 95. Well, do we remember what we're doing on Friday, April 4th? Do we remember what we're doing on Monday, April 24th? I can definitely tell you what I was doing on Friday, April 4th. I was trying to raise more capital. I was trying to clean out my closet, trying to liquidate a whole bunch of stuff I have that I don't use. I was trying to raise more capital so I can jump in at these prices, right? Do you remember what you're doing on the 4th? Do you remember what you're doing on the 21st when NVIDIA was at 94? Do you remember what you were doing on April 29th when NVIDIA is at 104? It's currently at 136.02. Okay, no crying and complaining on Winning Wednesdays. This is not Whining Wednesdays. This is Winning Wednesdays. Wealth is right in front of us. The question is, will we execute? All right, so that's a look at NVIDIA's chart. No whining, only winning. Wealth is everywhere in America. Everywhere you look in America, there's wealth. The question is, can we go get it? Do we have the courage to go get it? Do we have the skill set to go get it? Do we have the mindset to go get it? Do we have the ability to go get it? Do we have the courage to go get it? Do we have the skill set to go get it? Or will we defer our outcomes to everyone else? Aren't we tired of deferring our outcomes to HR? Aren't we tired of deferring our outcomes to Mr. Charlie? Aren't we tired of deferring our outcomes to politicians? Aren't we tired of deferring our outcomes to everyone else but our damn selves? Wealth is everywhere in America. All right, there's one more article I want to share, talk about. You might have seen this one too. Let's see here. We're going to run through this article right quick. Okay, before I get to that third article, in terms of skill, let me go through some scheduling right quick before we get into that third article. Today is Wednesday, right? So 8:30 tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. Doc will have his book club. That'll be tonight. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will have a live. What I'm going to do is drop the link in the chat. My plan for tomorrow is to discuss. There's a StreamYard link right there in the chat. My plan for tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, is to discuss the most important business metric. We're going to discuss what it is. We're going to talk about how to calculate it. We're going to talk about its importance. We're going to ask AI some questions about it. So that'll be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll also be on the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed to the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel, check that out. That'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. What else? This coming Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll have my option class. That'll be this Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And then right after, at 7 p.m. Eastern, the WIN group will have its study group. So I'll meet with the WIN group at 7 p.m. Eastern. So in terms of scheduling, tonight, book club, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll have my YouTube live discussing the most important business metric. On Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll have my option class. And at 7 p.m. Eastern, this coming Sunday, I'll meet with the WIN group for their study group. So that's some scheduling the next 4 or 5 days in the Black Business School. Check it out. Take advantage of these free classes. A lot of these classes are free. A lot of these meetings are free. Free fits into everyone's budget. So there's really no excuse. For me personally, I'm a student first, right? And I can tell you firsthand, the education I got from the Black Business School for free was more valuable than what I paid for traditional education. Both were valuable, but the return on the freedom education through the Black Business School was way more, provided a greater return than my traditional education. Both were valuable, though. Both were valuable, but I got a lot more. My real education came long after those degrees. My real education, my freedom education came long after those degrees. So I encourage you to take advantage of all these free classes. Today is what? May 28th, I believe. Wednesday, May 28th, right? It is graduation season, right? End of May and June is graduation season. But the real graduation, what's the real graduation? What's the real graduation? The high school graduation was cool. The bachelor's degree graduation was cool. The master's degree graduation was cool. The PhD or the doctorate graduation was cool. But what's the real graduation? What's the real graduation? Type in the chat what the real graduation is. It wasn't high school. It wasn't bachelor's. It wasn't master's. It wasn't PhD. What's the real graduation? Since we're in graduation season, what's the real graduation? Let's see here. Okay. MB says Dr. Alicia's birthday. That's true. That's true. It's just not. What's the real graduation? What's the real graduation? Right here. Yep. Graduating to financial freedom. Yep. Natasha says financial freedom for a job for me. Yep. From a job. Yep. Yeah. Real graduation, in my opinion, is that from employee to owner, that from renter to owner, that from W-2 to entrepreneurship. That's the real graduation, right? I think we were lied to. I myself fell for the okie doke, right? High school graduation was cool. Bachelor's graduation was cool. Master's was cool. The real graduation was me graduating from employee to owner. That was the most satisfying graduation I ever attended. By far, the returns were incredible. The peace of mind was incredible. The wealth was incredible. The health was incredible. The real don't let them fool us. We're not going to let them fool us anymore. Real graduation is that from employee to owner. That's the real graduation. So I wanted to mention that in graduation season. May and June is graduation season. We're going to focus on the real graduation, not the distracted graduation. All right, let's continue. Yeah, there you go, El-Haj. Yeah, freedom. We want to graduate to freedom, right? We already have all the degrees. We already have all the fancy letters after our name. That graduation didn't get us any ownership. That graduation did not get us free. That graduation got Mr. Charlie free, right? We are not subordinate to Mr. Charlie. We are not subordinate to HR. We are not subordinate to any political party. We are not subordinate to any other adult. We're only subordinate to God. Let's go get the freedom. We've been bamboozled long enough. We've been lied to long enough. We want to keep our eyes on the prize, and our eyes on the prize is the real graduation. All right, so no more BS graduations. We want the true graduation, real graduation, that from employee to owner. That from consumer to owner. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on the real graduation. All right, one more article I want to discuss, and then we'll talk about a couple other things before we wrap. Actually, before we get into that third article, I wanted to, I forget who mentioned this in the chat a few minutes ago, but I wanted to run through some companies that report earnings besides NVIDIA today. Let me share my screen. Let's go back to AI and ask AI what companies report this week. All right, let's ask AI what companies report earnings this week. Let's see what it says. All right, AutoZone. Oh, this was yesterday, Tuesday, yesterday. AutoZone, Bank of Montreal. All right, this morning, any major companies here? Macy's, Dick's Sporting Goods, Abercrombie and Fitch. Here's the big one we just actually, yeah, two of the big ones right here: Salesforce and NVIDIA later today. What else do we have? HP, U-Haul, Okay, so C3 AI. Some of you run option plays on the AI, C3 AI. So just like any other business venture, we're going to know what we get into ahead of time. We're not going to be reactive. We're going to be proactive. So if you run option plays on C3 AI, or if you're a shareholder in C3 AI, just know that they have earnings later today. What else do we have here? Tomorrow, Foot Locker, Best Buy, Kohl's, Burlington. After close tomorrow, Costco, Marvel. I think some of you run either hold Marvel or run option plays on the Marvel. Ulta Beauty, Dell as well. So that's some companies reporting earnings this week. The two big boys are later today, Salesforce and NVIDIA. AI and semiconductor giant, highly anticipated due to its market influence. Salesforce enterprise cloud software leader expected to report a physical Q1 earnings of $2.55 per share on $9.7 billion in revenue. $9.7 billion in revenue in one quarter. All right, so those are some companies reporting earnings later today or this week. Let's see here. All right, let's get into that third article, and then we'll maybe go into some Q&A. All right, let me stop sharing that one. All right, here's that last article I want to talk. You might have seen it in the description. Let me share my screen. It is regarding Trump media and Bitcoin. All right, let's see. This is another article from Yahoo Finance. Trump media shares fall sharply on plans to raise billions to buy Bitcoin. Let's pause right there. Let's rewind to Trump's first term. What was he saying in his first term regarding crypto? He was saying it's used by money launderers. It's some fake money. It's not legitimate. Chase's top dog was saying, don't buy Bitcoin. It's also used by money launderers. When it was at 18,000, it was at 22,000. He said, don't buy it. It's too risky. Meanwhile, his company was buying up at that low price. We're not going to be influenced by any media. We're not going to be influenced by anyone. We are going to think for ourselves, and we're going to make the best moves. We're going to decide what's best for us. We're not going to really listen to the media. We're going to do our due diligence, do our market research, do our homework, and do what's best for us. Right? Just 4 or 5 years ago, Trump, or actually a little bit more than that, Trump saying don't buy it. Now he's raising billions to buy it himself. So again, in America, you follow the money. If you don't want to really know the truth, you follow the money, not the media headlines. All right, let's see what this says here. President Trump's media company plans to raise about $2.5 billion from institutional investors to buy Bitcoin. The latest entanglement of his private business ventures and the cryptocurrency markets. Trump Media and Tech Group said Tuesday it planned to issue and sell 1.5 billion of its company's stock and 1 billion in convertible debt to about 50 institutional investors. Trump Media said Crypto.com and Anchorage Digital will provide custody of the Bitcoin treasury. All right, let's see if I can get into the Wall Street Journal's article here. Can you guys still see that? Oh, you guys still see the Yahoo Finance. Let me go back to Yahoo Finance. Okay, I think this article underneath is an article from yesterday. Yeah, Tuesday, 27th. President Donald Trump's media company said Tuesday that institutional investors buy $2.5 billion of the company's stock with the proceeds going to build up a Bitcoin reserve. Okay, so let's pause for the cause right there. Chase Bank, one of the top 10 biggest banks in the world, is holding Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. The U.S. government, I believe, announced a Bitcoin reserve just a couple months ago. They're buying Bitcoin. Some of the largest institutions in the world are buying Bitcoin. I'm not saying what to do. What I'm going to do is continue to dollar cost average my Bitcoin holding. I'm not going to get caught up in media headlines. I'm not going to get caught up in the fear mongering. I'm not going to get caught up in the hype. I'm not going to get caught up in the motivation, the inspiration, or talk. I'm just going to stick to my strategy. I'm just going to buy Bitcoin every week, regardless of price. If the big boys are buying it, I want to be a big boy too. I'm going to buy it also. All right, let's see what this article says right here. Let's see what Trump Media said. It intends to use the proceeds for a creation of a Bitcoin treasury. This investment will help defend our company against harassment and discrimination by financial institutions, which plague many Americans and U.S. firms. So Trump himself is saying he's buying Bitcoin as a safeguard against harassment and discrimination by financial institutions. If he truly believes that, I'm going to do the same. If Trump believes buying Bitcoin will safeguard against harassment and discrimination if he's getting harassed and discrimination against financial institutions, do you think me and you will be get harassed and discriminated against by financial institutions? If the most powerful man in the world is getting harassed, his company is getting harassed and discriminated by these big banks, I'm going to do. I don't really get caught up on the headlines. I do what the big boys do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm going to stick to what the big boys are doing. Big boys got bigger funds than I do. I want to have big funds one day too. I'm going to do what they do. I'm not going to follow what they say to do. I'm going to do what they do. All right. What else do we got here? Other companies have adopted similar strategies through cryptocurrency, cloud, and mobile software developer MicroStrategy has built up a treasury reserve containing billions worth of Bitcoin through stock sales and debt financing. All right. Here we go. Trump, who referred to cryptocurrencies in his first term as not money, citing volatility and the value based on thin air, has shifted his views on the technology. I'm wondering how much some of these crypto exchanges donated to him. I'm wondering how much ass kissing they did, how much bowing, how much kissing of the ring they did for him to change his stance that quickly. During the event at his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida during his presidential campaign in May 2024, Trump received assurances that crypto industry backers would spend lavishly to get him reelected. That's all you need to know right there. Last week, Trump rewarded 220 of the top investors in one of his other crypto projects, the Trump meme coin, with a swanky dinner luxury club in Northern Virginia, spurring accusations that the president was mixing his duties in the White House with his personal profits. Now, we're not going to cry. We're not going to cry that's unethical. We can take lessons from that, regardless of your political stance. I don't care. I can't vote. I don't care. Voting is not my solution anyways. I don't care about voting. I'm going to vote with my dollar. I'm going to build my wealth, and that's what's going to create leverage for me. That's what's going to create power for me. So maybe we can learn a lesson from that, regardless of our political affiliation. Maybe we should do what rich people do, regardless of your political stance, who you like, who you don't like, which person you like, which party you don't like. Maybe we just do what rich people do. Maybe if we do what rich people do long enough, we'll be rich. So this is an article you can check out on Yahoo Finance. Forget the political affiliations, forget the feelings, forget the emotions. If you want to build wealth, do what wealthy people do. Very simple, very straightforward. Let's check out some comments and questions. MB asks, could you speak to the strategy of buying NVIDIA now at any price? Maybe you dollar cost average NVIDIA. If you plan on holding it long term, it doesn't really matter what the current price is. It's currently at 135. If you want to hold this 5, 10, 15, 150 years, you don't really care that you bought in 2025 at 135. That's one approach, dollar cost average. Hold long term. NVIDIA will go up long term. That's another approach. Maybe you sell puts if you're into the options market. Maybe you sell puts on it. Maybe if you believe it'll go up, maybe you buy a call on it. So there's several approaches you could take with NVIDIA's current price. CRM, Andrea says CRM is buying Informatica. Okay. You've seen this kind of thing with some of the mega cap companies. M&A is one approach these mega cap companies take. Mergers and acquisitions. They just buy up startups. They just buy competitors that are up and coming. So I assume, I'm not sure what Informatica does, but if Salesforce is buying them, again, this all goes back to strategy. They don't just buy them just to buy them. They buy them with a specific purpose in mind. Andrea says, follow the crypto whales. Yeah, follow whales in general. Crypto whales, equity whales, derivative whales. They know something we don't. I mean, you see this in Congress all the time, right? Congress average salary is like 150,000, 200,000. Their net worth is like 40 million, 90 million. What's Pelosi's net worth? 80 million. What's her annual salary? 200,000. Do the math. 80 million. What's 80 million divided by 200,000? This lady's been working 400 years, never had an expense in her life. So again, we're not going to cry or complain. This is not whining Wednesdays. No whining. No whining and winning Wednesdays. We're going to do what wealthy people do. We're going to position ourselves accordingly. We're going to do what wealthy people do so we can become wealthy. We're going to follow what Nancy Pelosi does. We're going to follow what Trump does. We're going to follow what Musk does. We're going to follow what Bezos does. No crying and complaining. Just execute at the highest level. Yeah, there you go, Natasha. Follow what they do, not what they say, right? Not too long ago, these people are telling us one thing while they're doing another right behind our back. We're not going to fall for that anymore. We're too smart. We've smartened up. We won't get caught up in the headlines and all the fear mongering. No, we're going to stick to our strategy. We're going to stay consistent. We're going to stay disciplined. We're going to stay with a long-term mindset, and that will build us wealth. Andrea says, just pay down the dang debt. You're talking about America's $37 trillion in debt. She says his son Barron got him together on crypto. Okay. I'm sure it's a combination of people, maybe including Barron. I'm sure all those the crypto industry, the crypto executives, the crypto brokerages buttered them up with some kind of incentive, cash or otherwise, ownership in their companies or something. I think it was maybe a combination of things. I'm sure all those zeros had something to do with it. I'm sure all that equity had something to do with it too. Maybe even Barrett did too. Pull it out of the market. Are you talking about crypto? Yeah, if you have significant holdings in crypto, maybe you consider putting it onto your ledger, putting it onto your cold storage. if you do have significant holdings in these cryptocurrencies. Any comments or questions? We can run through them right quick. I want to actually show current market one more time before we wrap. I want to do a couple things before we wrap. One of them is to show current market. My bad. Let me share the screen here. Let's see what's going on before we wrap. Okay, so market's slightly down. If you've been following the market the last few days, you know the market ran up a lot. So I expected to pull back at some point. BTC currently at 107. Let's check the BTC chart right quick. Let's see what BTC did recently. It was at 112 not too long ago. Just under 112, just under 112, I think. When was this? The 22nd. So 6 days ago. 6 days ago. Oh yeah, actually last week Wednesday we were talking about BTC being at an all-time high. We can't cry that there's no opportunity in America. We can't cry. That's a played out argument, right? That argument is a dated argument. We can't cry there's no opportunity in America. We can't cry HR doesn't like our resume. We already know that. We're going to create opportunities for ourselves. We're going to strategize on our own. We're going to execute on our own. We're not going to sit around complacent. We're not going to sit around crying. We're looking at one opportunity right in front of us, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's only going in one direction, long term. Trump's buying it. Michael Saylor's buying it. U.S. government's buying it. I'm sure Vladimir Putin's buying it. I'm sure North Korea's buying it. I'm sure India's buying it. I'm sure China's buying it. If all the big boys are buying it, I'm going to buy it. I'm sure... who else? I'm sure a lot of these other large institutions are also buying it behind the scenes. They're telling me and you it's too risky, it's too volatile. It's used by money launderers while they're buying it, right? So opportunity is looking us in the face right now. Opportunity is knocking on our front door right now. Will we answer? Are we ready to answer? Let's see here. Option plays are opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities here in America, man. There's no shortage of opportunities in this country. We talked about the last couple of weeks. People walk to America for the opportunities me and you take for granted. We're crying and complaining. They didn't cry. They didn't complain one day. They walked to this country. It took them 2 months to walk to this country. They didn't cry and complain. Me and you are sitting on our ass every day crying and complaining. So there's really no excuse. There's opportunities everywhere in America, everywhere you turn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, how many tickers are on that screen right there? 15 or 20. There's 20 opportunities right there in front of our screen, looking at us right in the face, right? So there's no lack of opportunities in this country. There's only lack of execution. Oklo, let's take a look at Oklo right quick. Let me go to Yahoo Finance, pull up Oklo. Let me share my screen here. Oklo, I think Oklo shot up a lot recently. Let me stop sharing that one. Let's take a look at Oklo. I know some of you like Oklo. You run option plays and hold shares in Oklo. Let's see what's going on with Oklo. Okay, Oklo currently at 54.52. Let's see what's going on with its chart recently. 5 days up. They say 45% in 5 days. 45% in 5 days, 1 month. Wow, up a lot. 122%. That's a lot. They have earnings recently. Is that why? Okay, so it says August 11th to August 15th. So 3 months before that is May, earlier this month. So that makes sense. Is this the earnings right here? Yes. Yeah. So earnings on 5/13, which was 2 weeks ago, something like that. That's why it seems like they shot up a lot in the last 2 weeks. So that's the 1 month chart on Oklo. 6 month chart up a lot, 150% year to date, also 157. Wow, 1 year. Imagine we bought this ticker a year ago, and we had the discipline to hold it. Right, buying it a year ago is one thing. Holding it another year, holding it 1 year is also part of the equation. Right, buying it and then selling it the next day because it ran up 30 cents. You missed out on the 400% return. 5 year, wow, even more, all time 450%. Right, so there's a lesson for us right there. Buy and hold is often the best strategy, right? I think I had to check myself, right? Back in the day, I would buy a certain investment and then get excited it ran up 8 cents and sell it all, and then look back on it at 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later, and then realize I missed the real gains. 30 cents every share wasn't the real gain. The real gain was that 445% return, 5 years. So if you believe in Oklo, maybe you hold it long term. Maybe you do a combination of things. Maybe you hold it long term. Maybe you sell the calls out of the money calls. Maybe you sell the puts. Maybe you sell the calls and sell the puts. It depends on what you're trying to do. So that's Oklo. That's what Oklo looks like. So before we wrap, just a reminder, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll go live on YouTube. It'll definitely be a value add. I'm sure it'll be a value add to your life. So we'll discuss business metric tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, any final comments or questions in the chat? Boys did with Oklo long-term holding. Okay, hold on for dear life. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Be well, winners. Yep, you be well. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for everyone that participates. The objective of this class is to add some value to the community. I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everyone else, but I was miseducated for a long time. I did the traditional thing. It got me mixed results, so I'm trying to deprogram and reprogram with the freedom education. The traditional education was okay. The freedom education was much better. So the idea the objective of this class is to provide value to the community, free value to the community. We put in pocket for a lot of miseducation, so we're going to give free education, freedom education for free here on YouTube. So that's the objective of the class. Discuss current events in the stock market, build our wealth, build our power, build our ownership stakes, build our equity, and get what you deserve. There's no reason to be afraid. There's no reason to be hesitant. You have the knowledge. This thing alone right here is a supercomputer. That little thing right there. Few clicks on that, and we can pretty much do anything we want. So we're going to take advantage of the technology, take advantage of the information, and we're going to build the life we deserve, build the outcomes we deserve. We're going to stop deferring all our outcomes to everyone else. I myself deferred my outcomes to too many middlemen over the years, and I'll never do that again. I'm not going to defer my outcome to HR. I'm not going to defer my outcomes to Mr. Charlie. I whoop their ass in business. Let them come work for me. Let them come work for you. You're better at business than them. Let them defer their outcomes to you. How about that? How many years did we defer our outcomes? Here's the real question. Would they defer their outcomes to us? The answer is no. Then they're going to turn around and tell us they're about equality. Bullshit, they're about equality. They're not about equality. They're about ownership. So we're going to be about ownership. All right. So it's 1:04 p.m. Eastern. We're going to meet again next week, Wednesday. Noon Eastern every Wednesday. Winning Wednesdays, where we discuss power, ownership, and wealth in America. No whining, only winning. Check you out next Wednesday. Peace.